Today's program is brought to you by OTCStockShark.com. For the latest and greatest OTC and Pink Sheets information, sign up for your account at OTCStockShark.com. Thank you for tuning in to TBC Today. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano. In U.S. news, Iranian Foreign Minister Mr. Mottaki said mothers of 3 American hikers detained in Iran since July will be allowed to visit them. Intelligence Minister said last month Tehran had proof that the 3 Americans detained on espionage charges had links to intelligence services. Shane Bauer, Sarah Shard, and Josh Fatal were detained after they entered Iran from northern Iraq, a case that has further complicated poor relations between Tehran and Washington. Mottaki said the decision to allow the visit was a humanitarian in nature, adding that the hikers' mothers could get their visas from the Iranian diplomatic mission in New York. Iran's English-language press TV had said earlier that the families of the detained Americans would be permitted to visit them, adding no date for the trip had been set. In the United States, the family said they had not received official confirmation of the news. In a brief meeting with Mottaki last week, U.S. Deputy Ambassador to the United Nations handed over letters from the families of the detained Americans. Their families have said they were hiking and accidentally strayed across the border from Iraq. The White House had called for their immediate release. Under Iran's Islamic law, espionage can be punished by death. The United States has no diplomatic relations with Iran and is at loggerheads with the Islamic State over its disputed nuclear energy program. Washington is lobbying UN Security Council members to back a 4th round of sanction on Tehran to pass it into curbing sensitive atomic activity the West suspects is aimed at developing nuclear weapons ability. Iran denies the charge. The United States and Israel, Iran's archfoes, have not ruled out military action if diplomacy fails to resolve.
In today's financial news, stocks posted their biggest one-day gain in more than a year, boosted by the bailout package to stem Europe's credit crisis. The Dow Jones Industrial Average jumped 404 points, or 3.9%, helped by gains in all 30 of its components. The average had its biggest one-day gain in both point and percentage terms since March 23rd of 2009. The S&P stock index rose 4.4%, led by its financial and consumer discretionary sectors, up more than 5% each. All the broad measures other indexes posted gains as well. The jump in U.S. stocks followed rallies in the Asian and European markets after the European Union agreed to a $954.83 billion bailout. In further coordinated efforts to assuage spooked markets, the European Central Bank will go into the secondary market to buy Eurozone national bonds, a step last week that its president said the central bank didn't even contemplate. Meanwhile, the Federal Reserve, working with other central banks, reactivated swap lines so foreign institutions can get access to loans.
In fashion news, Australian Fashion Week did not disappoint those who love the extravagant flourishes on the catwalk, with the bazaar standing out from a sea of more muted shows that consisted mainly of black, grey, and white. The aim of the 15th annual Australian Fashion Week was serious, to promote both established and a new guard of Australian designers locally and overseas in a market that is strengthening after last year's global financial crisis. Many of the 160-plus international buyers and media who went to Sydney for the week-long show agreed the collections weren't so offbeat and added to the image of Australian designers coming up with wearable, unique fashions and not just swimwear. With London, New York, Paris, and Milan securely placed as the world's 4 fashion capitals, Australia is trying to position itself as the main fashion center in the Asia-Pacific region. One of the most closely watched designers was Dion Lee, who made his debut at last year's Fashion Week, while established label Zimmermann and Alex Perry were also praised. On the catwalk, Aboriginal model Samantha Harris created a buzz, kicking off the show for Lisa Ho.
When you've got a serious leak, it's time for Leakender 2000. It fixes any leak fast, no matter what's leaking. Just spray it with Leakender 2000, and in minutes, the leak is sealed. Look, we'll cut this garden hose with a knife, then shut off the water and spray on Leakender 2000. Minutes later, the hose is as good as new. The cut is sealed. Leakender 2000 is a unique compound that fills and seals any crack or separation as it hardens. Why put up with gushing gutters, dripping drains, wet windowsills, and rain-soaked RVs? Leakender 2000 stops all those leaks, and it's yours for only $14.95. Call now and we'll double your order. We'll send you this giant-sized can at no extra charge. Order now.
To order, have your credit card ready and call toll-free 1-800-936-0300 or send check or money order for $14.95 plus $5.95 shipping to the address on your screen. Call 1-800-936-0300.
Ever wished you had sonic hearing? Well, now you can with the amazing Silversonic XL from Bell & Howell. It's lightweight and small, just like a cell phone ear adapter, and it fits your ear just as easily. Its IC chip technology lets you hear sounds from more than 30 yards away, amplifying them up to 50 decibels to give you crisp, clear sonic hearing. The Bell & Howell Silversonic XL is yours for only $19.95, so order now.
Call 1-800-230-7100 or send $19.95 to the address on your screen. That's 1-800-230-7100.
In today's tech news, it was speculative before the given lack of independent confirmation, but now apparently Apple has gone on record to confirm that the original deal signed with AT&T for iPhone exclusivity back in 2007 was a 5-year deal. That means at least some of the legal hoops would need jumping through if it were ever going to see that oft-rumored Verizon iPhone before 2012. In Gadget reports, the court documents filed by Apple in a California class action suit confirmed the original AT&T exclusivity deal had a 5-year duration. The suit, ongoing since 2007, claims that Apple and AT&T were exerting a monopoly over iPhone service by surreptitiously locking iPhone buyers into renewing contracts with AT&T once their initial 2 years was up. On the flip side, there are a number of reasons such a contract might be amended or canceled. So it's not exactly a total given that the iPhone won't appear on other carriers before 2012. But given the original terms, it would require some tricky negotiation or legal fancy footwork to get there. Moreover, the class action suit also alleges an illegal monopoly over the iPhone App Store, which the court ruled substantial enough to move forward. On both fronts, then, consumer market and legal proceedings, it will be fascinating to watch for further details on when the AT&T iPhone exclusivity curtain might drop or even be forcibly struck down.
In travel news, as Robert Johnson said, Chicago is a sweet home for the blues. The emergence of blues culture in the Windy City began in the 1920s and coincided with a nationwide increase in musical performance and recording. This culture is alive and kicking today, and that's why we're taking you to 5 of Chicago's hottest blues bars. Blues Chicago in the city's North River District has been a loyal favorite for over 12 years. For visitors, this is a great place to learn the story of Chicago blues. The walls of the club are adorned with the work of renowned artist John Carroll Doyle and capture the spirit and history of the Chicago blues. Next is Rose's Lounge, and the New York Times calls it the best blues bar in Chicago. The bar is owned and operated by Tony, an Italian-born blues drummer who couldn't resist the pull of the Chicago blues scene. The bar's namesake is Tony's mother, who moved from Italy to Chicago with her son and still works behind the bar. The family of blues performers that have taken to Rose's stage include legends like David "Honeyboy" Edwards, Homesick James, and Pinetop Perkins, and Chicago blues modernists like Billy Branch and Sugar Blue. Next, we have Buddy Guy's Legends, and Buddy Guy's actually a blues legend, a man crowned king of Chicago, electric blues with over 50 years in the music business. Buddy is a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee and an idol to all guitar heroes. He opened Legends in June 1989, and since then his stage has been home to names like Van Morrison, Albert Collins, Bo Diddley, and Stevie Ray Vaughan. If you're a real Buddy Guy fan, then you'll want to head here in January during its annual block of concerts. The menu features Southern Cajun soul food, and you can enjoy while taking in the amazing collection of guitars over the main bar. The main bar has been signed by B.B. King, Carlos Santana, Eric Clapton, and Stevie Ray Vaughan. The bar area is the best place to hear the music, but be warned, it does have obstructed views. Kingston Mines is the club that brought the blues to Chicago's north side. It moved to its current location in 1980 after 20 years of operation and continues to nurture the Chicago blues culture. Music is played 7 nights a week on 2 stages. The main stage and north stage are continuously graced with some of the best in the business, and on Thursday nights, early birds can enjoy an acoustic set. Last on the list, and on the north side of Chicago, is Blues. In fact, on Sunday nights, if you pay a cover at Blues, you can get into Kingston Mines for free. Blues serves up local sounds 7 days a week. The club's small tables create an intimate atmosphere and get packed on the weekends. You'll definitely make new friends, and there's always the chance you'll share a drink with a favorite blues artist as they take in the scene at Blues. If you have friends in the area, bring them on Tuesday for Good Neighbor Night. Anyone who lives in zip code 60614 and 60657 gets in for free.
Thank you for tuning in to TBC Today. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano.